and then YouTube's not actually rolling. Let's see. All right, did I share it right? Fire. Boom. All right, we are good to go. Also, do you mind? Are you able to move your camera just like angle up slightly or angle it?
So my face is like the same level.
There we go.
Like,
Yeah, because
like
I'm gonna
that?
edit this later. Perfect, dude. Perfect.
Perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, no, my camera, I literally had to, sometimes when I'm playing Rocket League, I'll hit my desk when like jokingly because it comes through my mic, so I'll jokingly do it. Like I don't have real anger when I do it. It's just more of like a funny thing. And like my light that I have behind my camera always moves, and the camera always moves, and so it's like always not how it's supposed to be.
Aaron
Yeah.
Smith says, "What's up,
Aaron
Nick?"
says hello, Aaron.
That's fucking awesome. No, dude, I used to play this game called. Why am I blanking on the name? It was a GI Joe game, and it was a very simple. It was basically like a Mario game where you just run and you try to get to the end of this race thing, GI Joe style. Yeah. And I don't think I had anger management. I've never had anger problems ever, except during this couple year stint when I was like 6, and I literally got so mad at I had these joystick controller things. I'd throw them at the TV. I got so angry. So I'm not a big video game guy, dude. Honestly,
I've never done that. Like I've heard a lot of stories of like friends like breaking controllers all the times. Like especially with Rocket League, that's like one of the main games I play. I've never broken a controller like that, like ever, like even like thought about it. No,
is that a flex in the gaming world?
Maybe it is, but the last 5 years I've played games on my computer with a keyboard and mouse, so like I can't break a controller now. Like it just
true.
I have one.
Wait, do you have one of those expensive ones?
Computer wise, it's like it was only like 1,300, so I guess it's expensive relatively, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like a cheap computer compared to like some of those things that they have.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some people like my friend Devin. His setup is absolutely nuts. Like, I don't know how much he spent on that. It's just, it's just got so much stuff. He's got like 12 different monitors. He's got like 3 speakers. He's got like a little, he's got like one of those touchpad things where if you like click a button, it takes you somewhere.
Soundpad.
Yeah, soundpad. Those things are amazing. David says I may or may not have broken many controllers. That's fucking hilarious. Well, anyways, we're gonna get into it, guys. Welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. I'm Cage, your guy, to be replacing the little voice of Joy for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thank you for listening or viewing. I want to reply from if you haven't already. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. I'm joined here by the Discord manager of VeeFriends, Nick CORSO. Welcome, brother.
Thank you for the welcome. It's
Hell
great
yeah,
to be
man.
Here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into it. Guys, also, if you have any questions in the chat or afterwards, if you want to ask some questions, maybe we'll do a follow-up episode. Just drop them in the chat or drop them in the comments, and we'll try and get to them. But anyways, dude, so we were just talking about video games, but I guess NFTs and video games have something in common. So you got your start in NFTs was VeeFriends your first little endeavor working in NFTs?
Yeah, my first ever.
How long ago was that when you got started?
Yeah, I got started with VeeFriends. I think it was like May 3rd.
You're OG.
Yeah, I was into NFTs a little bit back in March last year with like Top Shot, but and I knew about CryptoPunks, but they were 40 grand. I don't have 40 grand, still don't have 40 grand like in my bank. Like, so it's like, I dabbled with Top Shot a little bit, and every single pack you always made money, and then
Dude, wait, actually, will you explain that to me, the Top Shot extravaganza? Because I don't know too much about it. I just hear about it. But now that you mention it, I don't actually know anything about Top Shot.
Oh, at all?
I know. Okay, like
I don't know what happened to it.
You said something about packs, and I was like, oh, wait, maybe I don't actually know what Top Shot is.
Yeah, you could there would be like pack drops, and you'd have to join the line, and hopefully you get put in a good spot in the line. Like you join before the line, and it puts you in a random spot, and you buy the pack. And every single pack was like some were $9, some were like $14, and like the cheapest moment was like $6. So
I see.
Pack, so like it was like if you sold, you made money every time. If
you
didn't sell like me. Yeah.
Did you make any money from it?
I haven't sold anything. So
get out of here! Really?
No, I haven't. Actually, no. I sold one thing to buy stuff on when they dropped their NFL thing.
Gotcha. Are you like a collector?
Ecosystem. Collector, yeah.
Gotcha.
I have a lot of like sports cards. Besides NFTs, Squirtles. Chris Conley, he's a football player. Some VeeFriends cards at the collector's corner.
Oh, nice. Let's go.
So just a little bit. I'm a Chiefs fan, so
Gotcha.
Chris
Gotcha.
Conley, he was a Chiefs player like for I think like 2 or 3 years, and he went from like one of the best teams to some of the worst teams, the Jaguars, and then he's on the Texans now. But you know, so
Love it.
I like collecting him for sure.
I definitely did my fair share of collecting. That's where the NFT world really drew me in. Was these collectible PFP style. But there's
Yep.
still some that like launched back in the summer that I just want to own, and I don't even care or know if they're doing well anymore. I just like the collectability aspect of it. It's really hard for me to sell. Like I did that little. I don't know if you saw that thing going around. It would test your wallet to see if you're net positive or net negative. And I was actually net positive, regardless. And I didn't even sell most of my like good NFTs. I was like, okay, that's actually cool. But for the most part, I'm more of a collector. Like it's really
Yeah.
hard for me to sell NFTs. What? Tell me about your biggest L, or maybe like it would have been a big W, but if you had sold
So yeah, I have a big L. So uh, I had an ape already at the time.
Bored Ape.
Yeah, and I I was I was in a clubhouse and someone was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy another one." And I was like, I got enough ETH. It was 1.85 ETH was like the
Oh
floor.
my god.
And I was like, all right, I'll buy another one. And so I bought another one. And a week goes by and the floor goes down to like 1 ETH. And so when it started climbing back up, I was like, I'm listening at 1.9 and getting that. Like I can't do this. Like I've never spent that much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, so
Oh
I
my
sold it.
god.
With the royalties, I probably didn't make any profit at all.
Oh my god, bro.
So
Did you hold on to the original ape, or do you?
yes, I still have it. Yeah, I kept
Dang, you
that
still
one.
got an ape.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here. I want to see it after. Which ape you
uh,
got?
4757.
Wait, hold on. 4 7.
So the story with that is like I was in a clubhouse with a whole bunch of VFam, and someone came in. His name is Brian. His City Apes. He came in and he's like, "Hey, I just bought this thing called a Bored Ape. He bought a gold ape for 5 ETH."
Okay.
and he was like, you guys gotta buy one." And so we all it was like 6 or 7 of us. We just bought a
Wait,
Bored Ape.
you were in a clubhouse and some dude just waltzes in and said, "I bought this
We
picture of a
know
monkey."
him. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
We knew him, and he was telling us, he was like, "Yeah, guys, I just joined this community. It's great."
Wow, bro. Okay, hold on. Tell me the number again.
4757.
4757. All right. And then how do I type this in? Bored ape number? Bored ape
I have no clue.
475. All right, here we go. Here we go. 4857. Why is this so difficult for me to find? Oh, here we go. All right. All right. Forgive me, some stupid. 4757.
Yep,
All right, here we go.
a good number.
Yeah, it's a great number right there. Is it gonna pop up? Hey, oh shit! No, wait, get the fuck out. This is
Pretty
yours?
one. Yeah, it's a pretty one.
What the fuck? That is
So
one of the cleanest I've seen.
yeah, so the reason why I picked that one actually, do you know Ross Creations?
No, I thought you were about to say Beanie.
No. I didn't know who he was when I bought it. Um, he's like a prank YouTuber. He's like he's like one of the OGs who've always done it, real stuff. And he did this like skit once where he was selling lemonade on the side of a highway with a
Mhm.
spinny hat on, and he was just acting like he was very stupid.
Yeah.
and like when I saw that, I was like, it looks like him. Like it looked like that. It came in my mind. I'm like, this is Ross Creations. So I was like, I'm buying
Wow.
this one. Like it's great. And
That's
ever
legend,
since
dude.
I've liked the propeller hats, but they're just I don't go out of my way to buy them.
Sure,
Like
sure. Dude, I mean, why is that not your PFP? That's like such an ultimate flex in the NFT world.
yeah, I don't. I've never been one to want to flex things. I had it once, and I only had it for like a week, and I was just like, I don't like. Yeah, it was cool. I got some new followers, but
Yeah.
like besides that, um, I want to stay with like what I love, and that was my PFP. And I still it's been like the same PFP I've had. One of my friends he made like a similar one for my birthday, and then I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
dude, let's make this into my PFP. And so that's where it is.
Legend, dude. So you got into the NFT space, you had an ape, you're doing some degeneracy in Clubhouse. Dude, that makes me like upset about the fact that it was in Clubhouse, because Clubhouse is an app that I got into because of Gary Vee. He's yelling at everyone, get into Clubhouse, get into Clubhouse. So I got into Clubhouse. I got someone to give me an invite or whatever. Was in there, did a couple like here and there, did some things, and then like didn't fucking like utilize it really. I think I was just busy. I don't know what else I was doing. I was just busy doing other shit, and I just didn't really utilize Clubhouse. But I heard a lot of people got intense alpha within clubhouses, just like kind of networking their way in, right time, right place.
Yeah, no, we had like a 24-hour chat for the V Friends. So like there was people always in there, and like 24/7 there'd be people in there. So that's like we had that always going, and yeah, it was great. It's not really like that anymore, just because
Sure.
everybody like it's yeah, people have lives and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, we gotta we gotta get back to our life. And then everybody kind of moved to Twitter more with like Twitter Spaces instead.
So how'd you work your way up? You told me you started as a mod, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was a volunteer mod for like 3 months or so. Like I was the I don't mean to say this in like a bad way, but I think I was like the most active mod. In my opinion, I don't know. There's definitely a few mods that stick like that come to mind that were
Yeah.
definitely like insane at their like what they do, and they still are. Whether they're with V Friends or somewhere else,
Mhm.
they're amazing. And so I just kept like when I'm like in a summer, like I don't go out as much. I'm always like I'm a hermit crab. I stay at home, and like I'd be playing games on one screen and have the Discord open, interacting with people on the other screen,
Nice,
like
nice.
full degen. And it was great. It's awesome to be able to help people, and that was what I did in the Discord. So it was perfect, and so I kind of just kept being active. Um, and then I was going to become a head mod. And then there's a guy named Zane. He's great. He was like the community manager, Discord manager, socials manager. Like he did everything for VFriends.
Mhm.
Um, he wanted to pursue something else, and so he parted ways with VFriends. And so
Wow.
those three positions that he did all by himself opened up. And the first one that was hired for was a Discord manager. And so instead of being head mod, they had me as Discord manager. And then from there, you know, now I'm full time. I was part time. I actually just went full time like 3 weeks ago.
No
Um,
way. Let's go.
yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
like I probably could have went full time before. It's just a matter of
Sure.
school and stuff. So um,
What was the catalyst that
yeah,
that made you take the jump?
like to go full time.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm always like wanting to be active in the community. Like I just love being part of it, and I was like, I want to be part of it more, if that makes sense. Like I'm more like I've always been in the dirt when it comes to the community. Like I'm always like at Twitter Spaces, and that's not because I work for VFriends. It's because I want to join.
Sure.
I'm always like checking the pulse on everything. So it was just more of like I want to like do it full time,
Sure.
and just stay with it.
What is like? What does your family? What do your friends think about? Do they know about VFriends? I assume they probably do because you're working in it. But
Yeah, so I don't have like the biggest friend group, like in real life, but the small friend group I do. One of them, I've taught him a little bit about V Friends. He thinks it's fucking dope, but he has no time.
let's go.
Um, the other ones, like when I started buying, like when I bought my Bored Ape, and I think I bought like two gutter cats or something, like back in like June last year or July, something like that. Like they had a party at the
Yeah.
house, and I was showing one of them, like, why the hell are you buying that? And I was like, I was trying to explain to them, I was trying to explain V Friends to them, and it was just like they didn't really care. And so I
Yeah.
just haven't really even tried to explain it to them. Like they'll learn off my socials posts if they want.
Probably.
Like I don't like to go out of my way to, like, if they want to learn, I'll go out of my way to teach them, but I'm not going to go out of my way to teach them if they don't want to learn.
Yeah.
So
That's probably the best way to do it because if they're not willing to learn, it's a pretty complicated concept to explain to someone who doesn't have any interest in it. It's
yeah.
it's like damn near impossible actually to explain a concept to someone who doesn't want to have it like they don't want it to like make sense almost, like they're coming up with every time you say something they come up with like a counterpoint to it. And
Yeah,
you're like, okay, like
exactly.
I guess like one way I described it, I made a video about this. I thought it was probably my best way of explaining it was like NFTs and crypto is just like the idea of investing in a future that's more digital than it is today. Like that's literally the most simple way I can put it. And when I
Yep.
say it like that, they're like, okay, like that makes sense. Cause I'm like, if everyone has social media now and back in the day, no one wanted it or it just wasn't really a thought because it wasn't a thing yet. And now everyone wants to be a social media. Like now, if you go out and say I'm a YouTuber, it's
Yep.
cool. But like a few years ago, it wasn't. Like I remember this was probably it must have been middle school, like seventh or eighth grade. I was I was trying to get on the honor council or some kind of position in school, And I remember I was like in the middle of like campaigning for it, and I was editing a YouTube video for I was a soccer player back in the day, so I was
Me
like
too.
editing a soccer free kick video. And I remember like a couple of my friends like walking by, like two of them like snickered and laughed at me, and then one of my friends was nice. He's like, "Oh, like cool video." But I remember back in the day, like trying to make YouTube videos. One, it wasn't a thing at all, but two, like it was like you're a dork if you did it. And I just remember being like, "Oh
Yep.
man!" And now it's so cool. And so, what are your thoughts on the future? Do you think it'll be similar to that, or do you think it's going to be in a different direction?
I think it'll be similar. Just because it's like I feel like it's gonna be like everything is gonna have like blockchain or NFT technology in it at some point. Um, and so like it'll be like a what you kind of said, you know, they'll come to realize like, okay, this is pretty cool. They probably won't say anything to you, or me. Maybe they'll. Some people will be like, okay, you were right.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that's just the nature of everything. Like that's new and different. Like I had a friend who did YouTube as well when like in middle school and then like earlier like high school and people would like they wouldn't like bully him, but they'd make fun. I wouldn't call it bullying, but it was like a they would like get on him about it, laugh at him, like laugh at
yeah.
his videos, and it was good content. Like he did like trick shots and stuff. Like it was just like a cool like yeah, it's just what he liked to do. So it was cool.
Yeah, it's wild watching the changes. Like that's one thing that because I watched a lot of Gary Vee, and he's actually probably one of the main core people that got me off my ass to go do something. And back when I was like working at a restaurant, and I was like, "What am I doing with my life?" And then that's when Gary Vee's content started to hit a little bit more, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I see like what this content's about now for real. Like I can actually utilize this." And one of the things he like preaches a lot that's not as much of like one of his main things is probably something along the lines of more like stuff about observing like observing human behavior. Like I remember he said that a couple times. And I was like, oh, like that is something that I do. And it was interesting seeing how social media kind of responds and how people are. And then with like TikTok, like what are your thoughts on like social media right now? I guess like I don't know if you're like big on social media or if you consume a lot of that stuff, but like what are your thoughts on like how TikTok has slowly become the number one hub of everything?
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves like quick, short, like entertainment videos and that kind of stuff. So that's why like TikTok's just so successful. I don't have TikTok. I stick to like if I want to watch that kind of stuff, I stick to YouTube Shorts or
That is
Instagram
actually true.
Reels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
They have pretty much just done the same thing.
yeah, because I'm more of like a like social media wise, like I don't like sitting on Instagram too much and like I do it, but I don't like doing it.
Sure,
Like I'm more of like a I don't think you consider YouTube as social media, but like if I'm gonna spend time on that kind of thing, like watching stuff, I'll watch stuff on YouTube.
true.
Whether it's reels or the shorts or whatever. I I mean on Twitter, I have like a decent following, so like I try to stay active on there. Um, but I don't know. I want to use it to benefit not benefit me, but like benefit those around me and hopefully like help V friends in whatever way I can. Whether that's like answering like a lot of times I'll get DMs or people will tag me, have like a V friends question. So that's like
That's literally
so
how that happened.
yeah, so yeah, that was kind of that was funny. Yeah, so I that's how I like that's how I do social media now. Like I kind of just if I get tagged in like a question or something, like I'm always popping to it, like just trying to be helpful. But like Instagram, I don't know. I like when I post because every time I post now, it's like I always have a picture of something like a not necessarily inspirational, but just like a good line. And it'll be
Yeah.
like a picture of a sign or something. Like the last one I had, it said "Follow that dream," and I like that kind of shit. So, um,
Does Gary
yeah.
Vee get on y'all's ass? Like, I don't know what it's like working with him, obviously, but like, does he get on your ass and say, "You guys need to start making content. Start making content, Nick"? Like, is that what it's like? Like, what's it like
No,
working with him?
not at all. No, I mean, he is exactly how he is on camera. Like off camera, on camera, he's the same person, which is like that
That's
was like the
cool.
biggest like, wow, that's cool to me. Because like I was like, most people act one way on socials or whatever and act a
Sure.
completely different way, but he's the same person, which is like it's very genuine. And so like he's not really like he never really does that. Like if someone mentions like they like doing something he might be like, well, why don't you make content with it? But he doesn't like really like get on someone unless they should. Like if it's someone who
Sure.
just has like some insane talent, like of course he would do that. I don't think I've been in a situation where he's done that, but like if someone was just like very talented at something, he's gonna be like, keep doing it. Like, you know.
Have you been out to meet up with him in person, or is like everything you do right now remote?
I've met him a couple times. So the most recent time was at the Atlantic City National Card Show,
Mm,
because he's big into cards, like collectible cards, and so I went there, helped out with their booth for like Wednesday through Friday. So on like the floor front there, just
yeah, yeah, yeah. Was he
selling
like in
shit.
heaven? Was he like running around? Wait, what was he doing? Was he like speaking there, or was he just like literally going to like look at stuff?
No, he was at his card booth selling his card, like selling
Gotcha.
stuff from
Okay.
his collection, selling VeeFriends cards,
God,
like
that's
that
so
kind of
cool.
stuff. Yeah,
Damn, that
it
is
was
super
really
cool.
cool. We were like watching people rip packs open right in front of us and
Oh man,
selling them boxes open. At one point, when I got there, I opened like 40 something packs. Like just in the back because we were opening packs so they could, if there
dude,
was any good cards, we get them graded.
that's legendary.
So it was really cool. It was fun.
Man, dude, that's like a fucking dream world for me. I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh, big into Pokemon, but
Yeah.
especially Yu-Gi-Oh, and I've opened so many packs.
Don't tell me. Don't even bring that up. I've opened like almost 1,000 packs of Pokemon cards. I keep track of it. I have a Google sheet, and I
What?
keep track of. I did it because I was like, I want to see how crazy I am, and so like
Yo,
I've tracked like all the football cards I've opened. I've opened like one box of baseball, so I wrote that down. And then like the V Friends cards now. So
wait, hold on, wait, explain that to me. You document them because why?
I I feel like it's, and there's like two reasons. It's like it's cool to go back to see like, holy crap, I've opened so many cards, and then it's like two, it's like, wow, I've wasted so much money. I'm crazy. Like
Yeah, I've
it's a
wasted a lot
little,
of money.
yeah, but it's the joy of opening them. That's like that's where the money goes. So, I mean, I haven't really bought Pokemon recently just because it's just been a waste of money. Like you
Sure.
can't get it. Like it's at that point it's like a waste of money. Like I'll just buy. One time I spent like $1,000 at Walmart. I bought out all the Pokemon and all the football because they just restocked when my mom
Wow.
got there. My mom called me. She was like, "Hey, do you want this stuff?" I was like, "Buy it all." And then she told me I was like $1,000. I was like, "Oh shit, what am
Dude,
I
my
doing?"
mom would have told me to eat her ass. Like that
She
would never
always
have
checks for
thousand
me.
dollars.
Yeah, no, $1,000 spending for me is like absolutely absurd. So like when she told me the amount, I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make her put it back." I was like, "Just buy it." Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to tell her not to buy it.
Da-
So
uh,
after she's rung it all up and
yeah,
everything.
that's true. David says I had $2,000 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards at the time. My mom got mad and asked, and and uh, wait, am I stupid? And agita with craft and threw them away. Oh no, dude! Oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh my god! Yeah,
Fortunately, my parents didn't do that. My sister collected before me, so we have like
nice.
maybe like there's probably like one or two total packs that were open that were first edition. So like we have like maybe like 20 first edition cards in terrible condition, no hollows.
No way!
Actually,
Damn.
one hollow, but I don't think it's first edition. But yeah,
That's wild, dude. The online, or not, sorry, not the online. The trading card world is wild. I remember when I went to Japan. I'm half Japanese, and I went to this Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh convention thing, and it was a warehouse the size of like a Target. It was huge, like a super Target. And I went
yeah,
in, and it was just filled with fucking just shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of cards, of games, all this stuff, and these like huge booths and things. There were people dueling, there were people trading. It was
that's wild.
absurd, bro. Like people really, really I think that's one of the main reasons I just see with NFTs, and the way Gary explains this really well with some of the projects being like collectibles and trading cards. And I do wonder what it'll be like because like a project like Doodles just came out and said they're going to do this massive collection of like thousands and thousands of NFTs, kind of to make it more open for like the public kind of thing. And they're basically attacking it a little bit different. Like every other project's trying to attribute as much value and grow the value of each NFT. They're more trying to like build their IP across the entire world. And I don't know, like for me, I'm kind of torn on like I guess both could be right, and they could both kind of like coexist. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, as far as like a trading card style, where there's like millions of Yu-Gi-Oh cards out there, but there's some that are worth more than others. I guess.
Yeah, no, I think like Doodle's way of doing it is probably, it'll probably play out really well, because the more people you have into the brand, or yeah, the brand, the better. Like they like there's a lot of people who watch on like the sidelines of certain projects, but they can't get in because it's too expensive. So if they have like the cheaper entries, like they really feel part of it. And then of course there's gonna like the first, like the series one of Doodles is gonna be the Charizards and that kind of
Sure.
stuff. But there's gonna, you know, everybody's gonna have a piece. I think it's a good way to do it, just because it feels very exclusive. If like in the Yuga community, like it's very exclusive, and a lot of people like FOMO because
Yeah.
they don't have anything in it. And so like having so many editions that you can choose from and join the community, I think it's a real join. I don't think it's the but you know, I think it's big for just like the community of that project, because
True.
everybody wants to be a part of it. Doodles is a great project. I don't have one. um funny story. I was invited to their Discord like right before it closed at 500. Are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
familiar with that? Yeah.
So I did a podcast with Jordan Castro, the one of the founders there,
Oh, cool.
and he was telling me about that story. How they basically just were like, "Fuck it, let's just close it. Let's just close it now."
At 500, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got invited. Like I think I went to bed, so I didn't accept it. I wake up the next morning, it's
Bro,
closed. So
no.
So unlucky.
Oh
My
my
friend was
god,
telling me
that is
about it
painful.
before then. He was like, it seems like it's gonna be really cool. And I think there might have been two reasons why I didn't join. I was just in so many Discords. And then the second thing was I was like, they only have like 400 people, like it can't, or like 200, 300 people, like it can't be
Sure.
that good. Like
So wait,
that was like the way I looked at it.
what was the Board Ape Yacht Club Discord like in the beginning? Then.
If I'll be honest, I was barely active in there. Still,
Oh, okay.
I probably have like maybe like 20 or 30 total messages ever in the Discord.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
yeah, so I always hung out in the VFriends Discord, and then yeah, I think just VFriends. I try to like I want like sometimes I'll sit on the sidelines and watch certain Discords and just see what their vibes are like. But like Bored Apes, I didn't do it at the time. Like I kind of do it now, but I did not do it before. I was just all 100% VFriends.
Yeah, what's interesting, like as far as the community of people, of like individual people within a project versus like what the project's about or the specific project. Like for example, you could really love Gary Vee and not fuck with the people who also like Gary Vee. Like that's very possible. You could jump into the VFriends server and not really
Yeah.
fuck with some of the people in there, but you can still like Gary Vee. It's the same with any other project. Like, you might just not. You might just. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Like I've joined some communities where I like the founders or I like the project, but then like the people in there, I wasn't like that stoked about. And it is interesting
Yeah.
how that works. Like there's some communities that are, I don't know, just I guess like the vibes are different. Like every project has like a different vibe. Do you have any discords? I mean, obviously, I assume VFriends is one of your tops, but like, do you have any discords where just like the vibes in there are litty that you just like being in there?
Um, the one that I'm not too active in is Chippy's World. That's
Hmm.
so the guy I mentioned before, Zane. That's his project that he did. And like he has like a cool thing where he kind of I think like it's at like 9 p.m. on Friday. He closes the Discord until 9 a.m. on Monday. So it's like he makes people take a break from the Discord, but it's always just like a lot of positivity in there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool.
but yeah, the vibes in there are cool.
Very cool. Very interesting. Do you have any other friends who started projects, and like what was that like? Because I know a lot of people who jumped in and a few months later I see them like founding a project. I'm like, wow, all right, that happened.
Yeah, I've had a few like I had friends like say like I want to start this project and do this, and I told them I was like, you could start a project, but like, do you understand like how much stress a founder goes through, all the
Right.
work you have to put through, your reputation that's put on the line, and people will destroy your reputation if your floor goes down.
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
or if you don't pay attention to it. So it's like a very dangerous like a lot of people think it's like I guess there's two ways to think about it. Like it's very cool if you're an artist or you want to make art and you just want to sell it. Like perfect. That's what it's for. And there's other reasons. There's other um, like uses of NFTs, but
Sure.
and then there's people who are like, I want to start this 10K project and it's going to be this, and it's just like there's so many projects doing that, and like you've probably seen plenty of examples of just like you see projects on Twitter and they just don't have momentum, and you can't sell out a project now without free mint
Yeah.
one, and two, like just building hype. Like the marketing on some of these teams is crazy, and that's what sells them out. It's not the product. Nobody,
Right.
like, half the people don't care about the art when those products. It's just the marketing.
Yeah,
So
it's a weird world out there, dude. Like one of my biggest I get okay, so it will be one of my biggest flexes, and it hurts me in my heart a little bit because like I remember back in the craze when my YouTube was kind of I don't know if I ever say my YouTube was like popping. I never did like those alpha call videos, like top 5 projects to buy tomorrow
yeah,
for a 200x. Like I never made those kind of videos. There's always like this style, like sit down with the project founder if I can, or sit down with someone, have a long discussion, or do like review style videos, analyst style videos. That's just kind of what I stuck to. I think because like when I was in college, I was in that nursing program for a couple of years, and I got used to like analysis, and I just thought that was helpful, and I didn't see anyone doing that, so I stuck with that kind of content. My YouTube was popping for a while, and I remember I had a good enough brand in that sense of like I wasn't like a sellout type of person. So I was like, okay, like maybe I could do a project here and people respect my work, that I could like actually sell out something and make however much money and like do something here. But then I remembered like, say I sold it out and I made 2 million bucks, then what? I was
yeah,
like, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I pay myself. Okay, so like however much money that is for salary, like that's cool. So that's going to be however many thousands of dollars. And then like, what do I hire a like who do you hire? Like what do you do
yeah,
next? And like no one knew what was going on. And I was like, this isn't worth it. If I'm going to be here in 10 years, like if I have a 20-year vision for my podcast show and in year 2, I fucking did an NFT project, screwed over all these people. It kind of went to zero. And now I like have an opportunity a few years later to like do a real project, but no one trusts me because I kind of blew
yeah.
my first one. So, like, how does that work? And so for that reason, I stayed away from it. And I think it was a good decision, even though like I had to bust my ass 3 times harder. That's kind of like what the shtick is, right? Like if you do a project early, you make 2 million bucks. What's the incentive to keep going? You already made your money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the hardest thing because most, like, 99.999% of people have never had $1 million.
Right.
So if you make it in one day after a month or two of marketing your project and paying someone to make your art, like, that's like, I can understand why someone would just be like, all right, I'm gone. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think it's a good thing, but it's something I can understand because nobody's ever had that money before. Like, most people have never had even like $100,000 in like a bank account or in your wallet is
Yeah.
insane. And
Yeah.
so, like, if people make that in 2 hours because their project sells out, like, the excitement or whatever they go through is just like, you can't feel that until you until you do it.
Yeah, man. And like the thing is, because I've done so many reviews and I've talked to so many new projects that I think people under and overestimate things. They're just like, why can't I have more attention here? I'm like, do you understand what you're talking about? Like, you're complaining that you can't casually sell out a $2 million NFT project in 6 weeks of marketing. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, that's not a thing. Like, that's really not a thing. I think they look at people, maybe like a Gary Vee, and say, this, well, he made X millions of dollars. I'm like, yeah, but like he's been grinding for like 20 years and he's put out an unbelievable amount of content and he's helped the world out. He's employed thousands of people. I'm like, that's a completely different story. Just because
Yep.
you've worked at a company, I was like, it's not the same. And I mean, they take something like a Gary Vee and say like, why can't I do that? I'm like, it's a lot harder than it sounds. And honestly, with Gary Vee, like I feel like his was even almost a bigger risk because he already was doing so well. He didn't need to drop a collection. Like he had plenty of
Yeah.
money. His company is was producing cash flow and stuff. So it's like this is a way for him to leverage his brand. That's kind of where I saw myself. I was like, okay, well, if in 20 years I keep up my podcasting stuff, I keep up all my content, I want to be in a position that's maybe not Gary Vee, but like a similar style figure where it's like I have my own respect in my own community and stuff. I could drop a collection there and it might actually be successful. So you've been Discord manager, you've also been mod since the beginning. What has been like the biggest negatives or like storms that came?
Um, I don't ever think of like stuff that happens as negative because at the end of the day, like, everyone's learning from it.
Sure.
But there's been some. I don't know. I don't know what the number one would be. But like, I guess we've had like these, maybe it was like in like November or something. We didn't have like anti-raid bots, and we had, and
Oh,
we allowed images in general chat, and they came and spammed like NSFW stuff, and it was
okay.
bad. Like, that was probably like the worst I've seen in Discord. I don't know if I was Discord manager at the time. I think I might have been. It was just something that like nobody expected. Like I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what went through our head to allow um, images in general chat, but every Discord did it. So it was like, you
Well,
know,
I think a lot of them still do because most of the time you're not going to get that, but I guess there is the chance that
yeah,
someone just comes in and raids. And I don't even get it, bro. Like, what do they? Why? Like, what is the point of that? Like, who wins in there in that situation? You know,
nobody, yeah, nobody knows.
that's
Like
fucking wild.
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But we definitely learned from that, and we're like, okay, I think some discords and something that we can even do with VFriends is just like allow holders to do that. Like, not that
Mhm.
they need to do it. I think that's the issue why we don't allow it, because there's no need for people to post images. Like, we have channels for off-topic stuff, so if they want to post an image for this or that, you can post
True.
it in there.
True. Well, do you have any tips for people who have their own discords? It's one of my top questions I get when I do, especially when I do reviews of new projects. One of the things they always ask me is like a follow up. Like, okay, like what can we do to shore up the Discord? What are some things that like successful projects are doing?
Something that I've noticed with like a lot of like new projects is they always have like events, like exciting events, whether that's like movie nights are cool, but there's a very like weird line with it with Discord's TOS, so you can't stream it, but you can, anyways, they have those kind of things. They have like game nights, where they'll play. I don't know what the recent games they've been playing, but they play like browser based games, like that kind of stuff. So stuff that like keeps the community engaged, because not you can't keep them engaged if you just keep posting about your project and that's it. Like
Sure.
you got to kind of like build the community inside, like all within the project's Discord.
Sure.
Um, so like with VFriends, it wasn't really like something we had to build, just because it was like everybody's a fan of Gary V, so we all have something in common,
Sure.
and then the rest was kind of just built on what the community wanted to do. So I think with like newer projects, I think another thing is like have your Discord secure. Like have like the security bots you need, have like a captcha or something, and make it look nice. Because
Yeah.
if I join a Discord and they don't have emojis in in
Oh my
the
god,
channel
I
names,
know, bro.
it's
It's
just
such
like
a small detail, but I'm like,
it,
why are you not doing this?
it's such a small detail, and it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but
No, it
it does
matters,
show
bro. It matters.
it shows that they aren't that familiar with Discord. Like I
Yeah.
think that's what it shows, and then it's like, okay, I don't really want to, you know, like, do I want to be in here? Probably not. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it just shows a little bit of like typically in disorganization, not as much attention to detail, and you're like, ah, yikes. Okay, so what positions are necessary within the Discord that you found that like if okay, so actually, if VFriends had to cut, say they pulled an open seat, and they fucking cut 50% of people or whatever it was, they had to keep a few people. Is it gonna be like? Is there also gonna be a Discord manager and a head mod and a community manager? Like, is all those necessary? I guess, or can people still do?
so a lot of projects have a community manager, and they also do Discord. So like that, they just kind of combine those two. Um, with VFriends, all of our mods are volunteer, so we wouldn't have to cut anything like
Sure,
that. And we don't have a head mod, so it's just I'm just a Discord manager. But I think I don't know how like newer project structure, but yeah, I don't know. They could definitely condense roles like that. Like I just mentioned, community
sure.
manager, Discord manager could just be the same thing. And they could also be like the social media manager. So like you can combine all three of those.
Do you do any of that
Kind
stuff, by the way, or are you 100% Discord?
I'm like pretty much 100% Discord. Like I do some like email support stuff, and then like from time to time, if like I see like a really good post like from the VFriends community, I'll go on the VFriends Twitter and just retweet it.
Nice.
But like nothing like actually like, yeah, I don't really do like social media stuff for VFriends necessarily.
How much has the Discord changed since the beginning? I know you talked about like the different positions opening up and stuff, but it's like the culture or the vibes or like certain specific things. Like you've been there since the beginning, but you've also been like working, so you've been on like the back end of Discord. Like how much has changed
Yeah.
since like May or like when you guys launched?
Yeah, I mean, for one, the structure of the Discord, like how everything's organized, has changed. Like, one thing we're working on is just to have as much education as possible on VFriends, NFTs, because there's like most projects don't do that, and so it's just like an easy thing to capitalize on to really just teach people, because there's still people in our Discord who don't know what NFTs are. They're just there for Gary,
That's
and
wild, dude.
so
That is
yeah,
wild.
so we want to teach that, or at least offer it. Like, we're not going to force it on someone. Everybody will learn eventually, but we want to have that available. And then, since VFriends is just such a difficult, like, to understand project, because there's like the rarities completely, like, there's no rarity sniper for it. There's none of that. And there's like 268 characters, so you got to figure out, okay, why is this character selling for more than this one, or this or that? So, like, once we have that breakdown for everybody, like, it'll just, like, I think it'll be very crucial for onboarding people, because then they'll understand. But something else that has changed, I think, like the vibes.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of, like, the OG Series 1 minters, like them, who still hold, they're not as active in the Discord. Um, I don't know if I know the specific reason. Like, they're at least not as active in the general chat. Some
Yeah.
are just aren't that active on the Discord at all. But I think there's probably like two reasons. One, because they have their friend groups, and so that,
Yeah.
like, they don't need to sit in the general chat. Um, and I think two, sometimes, like, we have the general chat that we have is amazing. But some of them are in there all the time, and I guess some people want to see new faces, like some of the
Yeah.
OGs, like, so. But, like, the general chat's amazing. Everybody's like always trying to help people. But the vibe has definitely changed since the beginning, and also, like, the speed of the chat,
Yeah.
because, like, for like the first, like, 7 months of the Discord, it was always fast, and it's a little slower now. But whenever Gary pings people, like, it's
Just
a
goes
different breed.
fucking wild. I've been there. I
Yeah.
remember one time I was and here's the thing with Gary's stuff. Sometimes, fam, if you're listening, shit can be time sensitive. I got the book games token because I just happened to be on YouTube when he was live. It was some kind of situation where he like had a time sensitive video he was posting or talking about it, and in that video he's like, "Hey, by the way, like if you buy these many books by this time and send a receipt, you can qualify for this NFT thing in like 6 months." And I was like, okay, well, I missed V1. So like, I'm going to get this. Like, I don't know what it is,
Yep.
but I'm just going to buy a bunch of these books. Ended up buying all the books. I bought one. I read the whole thing. I loved the book. And then I ended up just giving the rest of them away to friends and family and stuff.
Yep.
And so that was a really, really good play, dude. That motherfucker is smart. Like on how to,
Yeah.
I mean, he knocked out like 12 birds with one stone, basically in one foul swoop, and then just gave all these NFTs away. And then it was wild, just kind of seeing how he operates, I guess.
Yeah. It was the biggest NFT airdrop, like, ever, I
Yeah.
think, to date. Which is insane. But like, the way he came up with that idea was just insane. Like, I mean, I bought books because I was
Yeah.
like, I thought my dad bought books. Like, so the amount of people that were onboarded through it was quite substantial.
It's
So that
genius, bro. And he
definitely,
probably sold
yeah,
so many fucking books because of that. It was just like
yeah,
it was really just like I've been taking notes. I take notes and I just apply them to my brain. And I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of like taking anyone who's doing interesting things. Like that's what's engaging for me or intriguing for me is watching people do something that hasn't been done. Because not a lot of people have the stones to do it because it's risky.
yep,
But then even people who have the risk or they have like the ability to do something, they have the risk tolerance. They don't do it because they're nervous, right? And like they just don't. And I think that's a big thing that people love about Gary is like, even though he's in this position, he's still kind of like doing random stuff that people are like, yo, you could just chill. You really could just chill right now. And he's like, no,
yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, yeah, because like you said earlier, like, he didn't need to drop an NFT project at all. Like, he's mentioned before that, like, he's had friends say, like, hey, like, you've never, like, fucked up before. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
You
dude, that would
know?
be so scary. That would be so scary.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have done it if you were in his shoes?
If I was in his shoes, it'd be,
Yeah, dude.
I
You're
have no
rolling in
clue, because,
cash. You're doing keynotes, and you're like, all right,
yeah,
NFT project.
I don't know. Like, because for me, I probably wouldn't want to do keynotes.
Mm,
But um, yeah, I don't know. He's just a different beast. So
yeah, true, true.
yeah.
Well, anyways, we'll get a little bit further away from Gary. We'll talk about you. What was the last NFT? Actually, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to like falsely pump up a project. I know some people will just hear
It's
something, but
all
okay.
it's all good.
What are the NFTs that you hold like in your leisure? I guess like what project do you? Okay, let
Like,
me
my
rephrase.
top projects that I hold.
Well, partially that, but like my ledger is filled with like art pieces from like one artists that are not well known. They're just like random people that I fuck with. Like, what is
Yeah.
your ledger filled with? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a fair share of like the bigger NFT projects, like
The
the
collectible
well-known,
stuff.
yeah, like I have a World of Woman,
Nice.
the Ape, like I mentioned earlier, a few Gutter Cats, and then my VeeFriends. But besides that, I have like there is one piece that is my favorite. Do I have it? No, I have a physical of it. I think it's on the other side of the.
Wait, do you really? You have a physical?
So yeah, so the artist, she does. It's called Working Dogs, the project, and so my dog passed away in December from like early December from like a very like it was very fast, like, and he was only like 6, um,
Damn.
and so she always made like dog NFTs and like made them do like just they had like different activities. Like one of the ones I own is one riding a motorcycle, um, and so I sent her a message, um, and I was like, hey, like, is there any chance I can get like a custom one made? I don't think she ever really did custom ones, and she made a custom one,
Nice.
and it was just perfect. And so I have 2 physicals of it. I gave one to my brother because me and my brother were both close to the dog,
Yeah.
and so like that one is like probably the most sentimental one I have in there. It's like a just like a I don't know. I guess you consider it one of one because every piece is different. It's not
Sure.
generative or anything. So I consider that my prized possession. And then I have like some of the earlier NFTs that I had, whether they're worth anything or not. Like it was just like these are some of my first ones, so they got to be in here regardless of where they are now.
Was the Top Shot? Was that probably your first NFT?
Yeah, those were my technically first NFTs, but my first one that like on the ETH blockchain was was it a I think it might have been a VeeFriend. Someone gifted it to me, so I didn't buy it. Someone gifted me a series one, like
What?
minted it and just gifted to me. Yeah.
Who? Why? Were you
It
already
was
moderating?
yeah, I was moderating at the time, and I helped him out a bit, and he just saw that I was always helping people, and he was like, he asked me, "What VeeFriend are you getting, or which VeeFriend did you buy?" And I was like, "I don't have
Get
money."
the
Like,
fuck out of here. That's
yeah,
so baller. Okay, shout out
he's
whoever
he's
did that.
his name's Alex. He's a legend.
Shout out
Shout out to
Alex.
Alex.
Alex, you
Yeah,
are a fucking living legend.
he's a legend.
Yeah, my ETH address is down below in the description, Alex. No, I'm kidding, but that's legendary, bro.
He did it
I've
for
had
a
that.
few other mods. Yeah,
Did he
like
really?
he bought like 3 or 4 and gave them to mods. So it was really awesome.
Dude, wow, what a fucking king. Yeah, shout out Alex. That's really really cool to see. That's one of the best things I've seen about NFTs is that communal aspect, but also just being able to. I mean, I don't know. For most people, if someone sends you an NFT, you're probably just gonna be like, "Oh, thanks." But if it's someone that like sends you something that is worth something, even if it's just like emotional, that's cool as fuck, dude. Like I like all
Yeah.
the art pieces behind me. These are all NFTs that I bought from artists. Like that's Rainbow. She's like a 12-year-old artist who just like is a beast, and they sent me like one-on-one art. I've got like a SupDuck that here. Let me see if I can turn my camera up there. Like I've got the SupDuck,
Oh yeah, I see it.
and then the Goon over there that are just like, oh Jesus, oh Jesus.
Camera's gone.
So yeah, I love the in real life NFTs. That's so fucking cool. But that's wild about Alex, dude. God damn.
Yeah, Alex is a legend for sure. I finally met him at VCon, like in person, because
Oh, you did. You did.
I don't think he lives in the States. Like he's a very like moving person. So
Yeah.
moving
Very
as in
cool.
like he's always on the go. It seems like so.
True. True. True.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Okay. Well, I was about to ask like, what's the most surprising thing that's happened to you in the NFT space? I guess I could
Well,
probably
that's
be one
not
of them, but
that's one of them. But the most surprising is so Gary did. So they're called Goos. Gary originally owned, so he gave away a bunch of series ones from his collection, like maybe 50 something. And on the 24th, so on the 23rd, he gave out a whole bunch, and I think like on the 18th, he gave out a whole bunch, and on the 24th, like all the mods, all of those nights, we were always in the channel, just like. All right, like let's watch out for this. Blah blah blah. Like nobody was expecting anything.
yeah,
I'm sure like there's definitely community members who expected to win and who
sure.
didn't. But anyways, I ended up winning a Goo gift goat, and he only gave out 2 of those. Um,
Wild.
and I was fortunate enough to be one of them, and like that was probably the craziest thing that's ever happened, like in the NFT space. Like definitely the craziest.
Did you freak out when it happened?
Oh, I was freaking out.
What
Yeah.
were you doing?
Like,
Were you like at your computer
I
going
was
like,
like,
oh, oh, oh.
I was like, holy shit, that's me. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I was just so in shock, and like it took like a few weeks to actually realize that it was in my wallet, because like I would always check every morning. I would
Yeah,
check
yeah.
my MetaMask, like, is it actually there? And it was there every time.
That's the best.
So that's when like after like 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, okay, so this actually happened. Like
Damn,
I would
bro.
literally every morning, or if I woke up in the middle of the night, I would check. Like I'm like, was that a dream? Like seriously, like that's how unreal it was.
Wow, bro, that's so. I fucking love hearing stories like that. I've had a few moments where yeah, I'm in the middle of something and then I got a call or something like that, unexpected. And you're like, hey, you won or you got whatever. That's such a cool feeling. God damn.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were at your computer when that happened. You just got a ping on Discord.
Yeah, I was right here. Yeah,
Wow.
so he was when we were in the voice channel with all the mods, because I was still volunteer mod at the time, like not even a month in,
Yeah.
and we were all hanging out in there. I think another mod won before, so we were just like, which mod's gonna win next? Like I
Yeah.
hope it's one of you guys. Blah blah. We were hoping that more mods would win just because like the mod team was amazing. It still is amazing.
Mhm.
Um, and so we were sitting in the announcements channel. Like I had I had announcements channel on one monitor in the browser, and then I had the actual app open with the general chat because you had to have the general chat open. It was like it's moving so fast, and yeah.
Legend, dude. That's such a cool fucking story. Okay, now let's flip the script. Hit me with like a low moments that you've had in NFTs where you were down in the dumps.
I mean, NFTs maybe it could have been caused by NFTs. Like, I really like my social life outside of NFTs like very like declined. I mean, I didn't I
Mm,
like I never really was the type of person to like say like, hey, do you want to like hang out? Like, I never really did that, but I always loved hanging out with people. It was just I don't know. I hate the feeling of like rejection or hear and no.
yeah.
I've gotten better, but like I've always hated that, and so like I would never ask someone to hang out because like
Oh,
when I
okay.
used to do it, it would just be like a lot of times it'd be like no, I can't, and then it's like all right, I don't want to ask again because like I just hate that. Like I hate like fuck, I wanted to hang out with them and they they can't hang out, so I never really did that. Um, and so like I probably in actual like who I've met in person, like I probably or let's say who live like near me who I can like actually hang out with. I probably have like 2 or 3 friends,
Mm,
um, and and that I don't even that was kind of due to NFTs because I didn't like I was in college, but like I didn't really try to meet anybody because I was like, I'm in class and then I'm going home,
sure.
you know. Um, so that like I've
Wait,
had
did you
some
live
low
on
moments with
campus?
that. No, I didn't, because I went through this program so that you couldn't live on that campus.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that like there was like a few moments like that where I was like, "Fuck, like what am I doing? Like I don't have a social life." But I think it's like revived a bit because I've been like the few friends that I have, I've been trying to, like I went out to eat with one of them the other
Let's
night.
go. Hell yeah.
So I'm just trying to like kind of rebuild that. But I've never really had a ton of friends. Like I don't like having a ton of friends. Like it's just too much. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep those friendships going. So it's definitely getting better. And then with VeeFriends, like just overall, like it feels like a family. So like they're all my friends, but
Sure.
they don't live in Delaware.
Yeah.
So um,
Do you
so
know a lot
it's
of
like
so are there any is there anybody in the NFT world or VFriends world that's up close by you or are those people like completely not in NFTs that you hang out with?
nobody near my age. Like there's
Gotcha.
someone who lives in my town, but she's a mom, and so um, yeah, so it's like not same like demographic
Sure.
when it comes to age at least. So
Yeah. Yeah.
not yet. One day someone will live in Delaware and like NFTs.
Hopefully, yeah. If you're watching this and you're in Delaware,
Hit me up.
hit Nick up because he wants to get pizza with you.
Yep.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I with Discords, I've noticed that I've been to a couple like different NFT in real life events. One in Seattle, and what I noticed was, I think it's maybe more COVID that really affected people in the not as much being social aspect.
Yeah.
But I noticed that people are a little bit more awkward than I remember before COVID, like way more awkward actually. And I think maybe it's
Yeah.
because of Discord and like this weird like comment section culture. Like I know you're not big on TikTok, but right now on TikTok, the comment section is like famous because there's a YouTube channel called Brett Cooper. It's called the comment section because of this, but it's just like comment section culture has become a thing where people just try
Yeah.
and get the top comment. And I'm sure
Hmm.
you've heard of this, but it's like
Yeah.
weird and like people speak in like these in like statements now. But in real life conversations, they like struggle. I'm
Yeah.
just being like, what the fuck am I doing right now?
Well, it's definitely like everybody knows it's like a little weird to like meet someone that you've talked and been friends with online for a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
and then you meet them in person for the first time. It's definitely like a weird thing, but like there are some people like I think you're right with just like ever since COVID, everybody's like their social skills aren't really there. Um,
Yeah. This
but
podcast literally came part of the reason I kept doing the guest podcast was like I need to get better at talking to people as like especially as I want to get better and better as a podcast host. Like I need to be able to hold my shit together when I talk to someone who's like way out of my league or something. Like I need to be able to hold that conversation, and especially if I do want it in person. Like now when I do go to like an event like that and I'm talking to someone who's like way out of my league, I'll like really try like dial in because I'm just it's just different, dude. Like when you meet someone in person, I'm sure like when you meet with Gary Vee, it's a way different than him like pinging you on Discord for a quick message here and there. You know?
yeah, yeah. Now that I've like met him a few times in person, like it kind of just feels like it feels normal.
Cool.
So like it never really feels weird. Like yeah, it doesn't really feel weird anymore. It just feels like it's just like a normal day.
What's it like? So
Yeah.
like when you're there with the VeeFriends booth and stuff, what's it like being there with the team?
It's pretty cool. Like cuz like we're always trying to figure out like okay, how can we make content here? How can we do this? How can we do that? And it's very cool cuz like it's like very fast paced and very like at the card show for example, it's very fast paced. Like Gary would be like, "Corso, do this." Or
Wait,
it's like,
okay, wait, hold on.
"What do you do
Tell me
this?"
what it's like. Tell me
And,
exactly what it's like.
well, for that example, it was just like, "Corso, this guy needs a box," or like Corso this. So it's just like there's a lot of like sometimes there's like something that needs to be fixed. It's like Corso, this happened, blah blah blah. You
Fix
know.
it.
So it's just like it's like very fast paced and everybody works together like with
That's so
everything.
cool,
So
dude. That's just
it's
so
like
interesting to me.
yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy how it's like very fast paced and it works
Hmm.
and like everybody will work together. Like if like for example like at the end of the day like everybody helped clean up. Some people left, but you know everybody like we sat and we figured out okay where are we gonna put these things? Where are we gonna put these? And like very fast paced. Like nobody wants to sit there all night, and so
Sure.
like it's like very fast paced like troubleshooting and figuring out problems and yeah.
That's so, yeah, that is so interesting because we do see like Gary's shown like more behind the scenes stuff or like whoever like makes content for him like has shown some of the behind the scenes action, but we never really see like the teams behind that scene action. It's just like usually we're following Gary or there's a video of
Yep.
him like on his phone talking to someone. So I did always wonder what it's like working with him in real life because, I mean, I assume it's just very like much like a normal life or like a normal job when you're just in the office if you work at like VaynerMedia or something. But if you're like on the go with him in the middle of an event, like that's got to be a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
Is it every time he walks somewhere? Is he actually like hounded by people? Like, what is it like in public?
So I didn't like walk around with him besides like at all. Because like when he left with like two people, because he had to go somewhere and everybody else kind of stayed.
Yeah,
Um, but like yeah, people were at the booth all day to see Gary. Um,
that's so
he,
interesting.
he,
Yeah,
he like he wanted people to come at a certain time if they wanted like selfies and stuff, but he doesn't really like say no to that kind of stuff. Like if
sure.
people are there to just he'll show love. But yeah, like it was my first time actually like working with him in person, um, like like right with him, and so it was a cool experience just to like it was so cool to like see people like taking pictures with him, and they were so happy,
Yeah, I
and like
bet.
all it is just a picture, and he
Yeah.
just says a few things. So like
Did you get one?
it was really cool. No, no, no. I already have one,
Oh,
so
you do?
I don't need one. Yeah, I got one at VCon.
Let's fucking go.
At the end, we had the whole team on the stage.
Hell
And
yeah, dude.
after we took the group picture, I was like, I gotta get a picture with Gary at least once in my life because
Yeah,
I don't think I need more than one.
yeah,
But
sure.
if I'm like in a shot and like me and him are like focused in it, like that'll be a cool picture to have. But
Yeah, bro,
you
that's
know,
fucking cool.
I don't need like a selfie or like anything like that with him anymore. Now that I have it, it was cool to get it once, and it's like okay, now I move
Dude,
on.
all right, tell me about this with VCon. That fucking moment where all three Gary V, like the two impersonator TikTok kids who impersonate Gary V, and they were all on stage together. I literally shit myself because I was like, I remember from a few months before, someone said in a podcast with him, they're like, "Bro, you gotta get them onto to your event," and he was like, "Yeah, I might do that actually." And then he
Yeah.
actually pulls them up. Were you there?
Mhm.
Did you see it in person?
Yeah. So I was working the merch booth
Okay,
for a lot of VCon. So we were selling merch while it was happening, but like I knew about it like the week before, and I was like, this could be fucking dope because those
Dude, it
guys are
was so
hilarious. Like,
funny,
and
bro.
the best thing about it is Gary loves them. Like a lot of people
Yeah,
hate when people do that. Like Gary loves it. Like he thinks it's amazing. Um, and they are amazing people. Like they're great.
yeah.
Funny. So it was definitely cool. Like the reaction everybody had and him coming out, like just like the high pitch.
God.
Fucking, I love him, Nima. I love that guy.
Hey man, how you doing, man? It's just like that guy's so fucking funny,
It's
bro.
so perfect though.
He literally sounds more like Gary than Gary does. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
this is Gary V. This is so weird.
I don't know if you've ever seen some of his videos, but like it'll not be a video where he's impersonating Gary, but sometimes he'll just be like, "Yep." And it's just like so funny because it's not a Gary
Oh
V
my
impersonation video.
God.
It's just built into him now. Like he
That's
just does that.
that is fucking legendary, bro. Like
I
it's
love
so on
watching him.
point. It's
Yeah,
so on
it's
point, and
amazing.
it's really fucking funny, dude. And you're right. Like I think it is flattering if they're not being like a dickhead about it, obviously.
Yeah,
And so I think that's so cool. So tell me about this. So VCon, I heard not so much mixed reactions actually. I would say 95% was very positive. Like everyone who went at least like loved it for one. But then some photos, like obviously he rented out the entire area, so that's like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So like obviously not that many people are going to go to VCon. So in some ways it maybe looked like, oh, it was such a small event, but then when you're actually down there, there's actually a ton of people, and I assume like most of it was
yeah.
like condensed into one spot. What was like what were the things that could have been better, and then what were the things that y'all nailed?
Um, I think one thing that could have been better is like I wasn't on the forefront of that, so I can't. I don't know what we did, but what we could have done better is have like a better way to map out where everything was, because there was like side stages and like the open spaces where people walked. So like
Mhm.
there was probably like side stages, and then there was the main stage, and then there was like the Coinbase thing up here, the Ledger thing over there, and it was very like it was confusing for me, and I worked
Yeah.
it. So like that. But the other thing is our the merch booth. We first day we the doors open, people were running down the stairs, and we didn't have like those things for lines. We didn't have
Oh.
security. We
Ah.
didn't. I don't know why we didn't think about it. Like we didn't even like think for a second. Like maybe we should have like it was the dumbest thing, and it was funny to like we thought about like that was pretty stupid of us. Like how did we not think that maybe
Sure.
maybe we need security, or at least like those whatever those things are called to make the lines, like
Sure.
make people stay in line. And it was bad the first day of the merch booth, and then security came and helped um, get those things in place. And
Is
the
that
other
something
days
that
were fine.
Gary does? I assume he has someone who like helps with that, not actually Gary V trying to fix that, right?
Security or oh
Just
yeah,
like stuff
no.
like that.
Like there was like a whole team for VCon. There was a whole VCon team. So
Gotcha.
like we contacted one of them. They're like, all right, we'll send security, blah blah blah. So
You were like,
it was
we're gonna get
crazy.
fucking run over.
But
Someone's had
well,
help.
we were supposed to close it at 9. So I think when did it open? Were you were at VCon or no?
I wasn't at VCon, no.
Okay. I forget when VCon opened and then when the first speech was, but there was like 2 hours in between when the doors opened and then when the first speech was, like when Nima came out, like the Gary V impersonators came out, and we were supposed to close the merch booth when that first thing happened, and then
Gotcha.
reopen it like 3 hours later, and that didn't happen. Like we didn't close it until 5 p.m. I think we started at 7 a.m. and we closed it at 5 p.m.
Because the line was just there the whole time.
We just couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't just say
Wow.
go like everybody. Yeah, so we definitely could have done it better, and maybe not limited stuff. I don't think in the
Sure.
future we'll do like 500. I think we had like 600 hoodies or something. Like maybe we make it a little more
Yeah.
so everybody can get one. But yeah, that's definitely, I think the merch line was probably like the worst thing. um
And that's not
and
something you could have known. Like VCon, like I know
well,
people think that
we
you
didn't think about it.
well,
Like that
it's
was the
that,
thing.
but like also like he's never thrown an entire event that is just
Yeah,
surrounding his brand like that. And so for him, I'm sure it was more of like a tester to see like, okay, do people care? Are people actually going to show up? Is this going to sell out? Like, or is everyone actually going to come here? And that was actually for me. I knew Gary's brand was strong, but to actually convert that to people flying over to fucking Minnesota, which
from
is
like
a random area. Yeah,
Australia,
bro. I was
like
like, okay,
all
like
over
we're
the world.
really gonna see how much people fuck with this brand. We're really gonna see, and they fucking showed up, dude. It was pretty
Yeah,
crazy seeing all those
yeah,
videos.
yeah. It was insane. Like we didn't like. it blew our minds, like the team's minds. We were like, wow, like that was fucking amazing. And
Like, bro,
at the end of
Snoop
it,
was walking around. Logan Paul was
yeah,
walking around. Like, there's some
yeah,
big people there.
I did want to introduce myself to Logan Paul, but I never got the chance to.
Ah,
I'm not like I wouldn't say like I'm like a fanboy, but like I respect what he does.
me too. I've watched this stuff for a
Like
while.
he's and his podcast is good. He does a good job with his podcast with
I
Impulsive.
agree.
So like it was like it'd be a cool person to be like, hey, I'm the Discord manager for VFriends. That's like I hate when people ask what I do. I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna say Discord manager.
What do you say?
I just say like I just manage an online community. Like that's what I
Nice,
say.
nice.
Like
I would
give me
just say
first name.
fucking manager, bro. Like, I would say GM or DM or say DM, and then if they ask, say GM.
Well, so what I want to start doing is just saying I'm a director of a
That's
community or
Oh, actually,
like
dude, director. That sounds fucking good.
someone was telling me they're like if because I was like Discord manager doesn't sound that cool, and they're like, what if you made it like made it cool, like you could say like director of whatever. I was like, oh, director of the VFriends Discord, but
Can you say?
that's
Can
not
you do
my
that?
title. It's not my title. Maybe I can try to get that title changed, but that'd be cool. But I
I'll
don't
clip this.
know.
Don't worry. I'll soundbite this one, and I'll tag Gary. Maybe he'll see it.
We'll send it over to the team.
Yeah, we'll send over the team. That's fucking
But yeah,
awesome.
someone suggested it. I was like, that's such a great idea. He was like, yeah, that's when we had like startups or like I guess when he worked for smaller companies, like that's what they did. Like him and the coworkers, they would just give themselves like some really cool sounding titles. It wasn't because like I don't know, Discord manager just I don't know if it sounds weird. Like I feel like it could be cooler. So if
For me,
anybody
it
else has
sounds cool.
suggestions,
For me, it sounds cool, but I could see like what you mean by that. Like when you try and explain it, it's a bit
to an
hard to
outside
explain.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a shit ton of stuff that goes on. I mean, you do a bunch of things in the Discord managing role. Have you ever, like, so you said you're part time for a long time. Have you worked with any other brands in that position, or it's just been with VFriends, and why?
I haven't worked for any like other brands. I've like volunteer modded for like a few other projects just to get more experience.
Sure.
But like the culture with VFriends, like I haven't really had that many other jobs besides this, but like the culture of the team and everything is just like I don't know if it can be matched.
Sure.
And so I was like, this is it. Like hopefully this is where I stay like until I retire, or until I don't need to work anymore or something like that,
Sure.
So like once like I felt the culture and just like how like actually like real it was, I was like, this is the spot. Because
Hell yeah.
before it, I did like door-to-door sales, and my boss was a cool guy. But then he put in his this is like a little side story. He put in his 2 months notice because he had to move back to help his mom.
Wait, this is who?
My boss. This is my old boss. When I did door-to-door sales, he
Gotcha.
was like in his 30s. He was going back because his mom needed some help. And so he put in like a 2 months notice, and like a month in, they fire him, and they bring in some other guy, and this guy is like the biggest douchebag ever. Like, and I was just like, this is exactly what I didn't want. And I was like, all right, from now on, like, boss gotta be a cool guy. Like my boss before it was a cool guy. But he also like they were putting pressure on him to make sure we put in this many appointments with what we did. So yeah, after that I was like that wasn't even that bad compared to like some stories I've heard of people's bosses, and so once I joined the VFriends team and just like you're friendly with everybody, like I've never had a suspicion that someone disliked me or anything, which is crazy because like everybody sometimes feels like maybe I don't like this person as much, but like I've never felt that someone disliked me on the team, and I've never felt that I've disliked someone on the team, and everybody's just it's like a family. So it's like it
trickles down, dude, especially from the top. I've been an observer of that
my
whole life. Yeah, dude, it starts. If the fucking leadership at the top sucks, it will 100% spreads. Like when I played college soccer, our coach was, he was just dude.
That's why I stopped in high school.
Man, it's
my senior year.
The politics, the politics in college soccer in general are messed up. So they're terrible. But just in general, dude, like the disorganization, the way he like talks to people, it trickles down to the captain, trickles down to the other seniors, and then it's just like it's a shit show. And that's how it is in jobs too. Like the restaurant job I worked, I remember the owner. I was just like, bro, like if you run your restaurant like this, the manager's going to suck even worse, and then everyone's going to quit next year. That's exactly what happened. The manager sucked. He got fired. Another manager came in. He sucked. He got fired. All the servers are gone within 6 months, and I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah. I had a similar like kind of thing with high school soccer. Um, and like the coach was a great guy off the field. Maybe sometimes he got a little too drunk, but like he was a good guy off the field. But like on the field,
Yeah.
like full politics with like like it was high school sports, but like high school and college sports both they have their politics. And
Always, yeah.
you know, if you're not a favorite or you're not this or you're not that, like you're not gonna go on to your dream, or if you had a dream of it. Like I never had a dream of going professional in soccer. I was like, it'd be cool, but I'm not gonna focus my life on that because the chances of that happening, which
It's
is
so
is a
small,
bad
dude.
it's a bad mindset if I really wanted to, but I didn't want to. So it's like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a bad
Well,
mindset.
it's also like once you get to the top of what, even if you're like at the top of your college or sorry, your high school or club team, there's like levels on levels on levels, and if you already aren't just completely infatuated with playing 24/7, that's not what you think about, and
Yeah.
you're not by far the best person in the state, it's like the chance of you going pro are like negative 15 million. Like you're
Yeah.
literally just not going to make it. Like when I played college soccer and I realized, okay, I'm one of the better freshmen here, but I'm definitely not the best, and no one on the freshman part is going to start on this team, which means probably none of us are going pro. And within like 2 weeks I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to play professional soccer. Like there is no chance of this happening. And that kind of hurt, dude. It made my college soccer
Yeah.
experience pretty miserable.
Yeah. Um, I mean, every person that I know that I played soccer with, like there are some really good players. Like none of them are pro, and
Yeah.
a lot of like newer pros, they go pro when they're 20 or 21 or sometimes 18 or 19. And
Right.
so like
Right.
that's right after high school. And you have to just be playing overseas for that and have to only do that. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, so it's a little crazy with soccer at least.
Yeah, man, for sure. What position were you?
Um, so when I played soccer for like 15 years. I started as a winger. Like I think I
Nice.
was like a right wing, and then I moved to a striker, and then from striker I went to center back. I went
Hey,
so I joined this team, and one of the teammates, his name is Luke. He's an amazing player. And he was one of the wingers, and I was a striker, and they're like, we need center backs for this tournament, and we have none who are able to make it. And so me and him were like, we'll play center. I was like, I'll play center back, and he was like, he said, oh yeah, I'll play center back too. So me and him never played center back. We played center back, and we killed it. Like
let's go.
like we like he's still center back to this day. So and I was until I stopped playing. But it was cool. Like we didn't replace the other center back. There was like one center back, and then the other center back left the team. Um, and so we
That's how it
changed
is, dude.
formation
I
and
feel
stuff.
like
Yeah.
I was similar. Like I played midfield, played striker, played midfield, and then I feel like as you just get better, you see you have more of like a perspective, and so center back just makes sense. It's like basically
Yep.
like you're basically the captain if you're center back. Like you see I mean maybe the goalie, but like you're in there, you're doing a lot of the dirty work, but you get to see the whole field the whole time, and you kind of
Yep.
have to direct the ship,
It's
otherwise it
important.
won't work. Center
Hmm.
back's a fun position. Like once you're decent and you don't have to worry about, okay, can I dribble, can I pass? Like once you get those fundamentals down and you understand what you're doing, center back's a fun position. I always liked
It
playing
is.
defense after getting good. You know.
Yeah. No, I love playing it too. Like slide tackling, like getting a nice tackle is like the best feeling. I mean, there's been some times where like shoulder to shoulder, and it was like just a smaller guy, and he gets rocked, and you get. I never gotten carded,
What? You've
but
never been
no,
carded?
I've never been carded, which is actually I got carded once because I said something to the ref. So that was and I was just so pissed that he carded me too because it wasn't anything bad. Like I was like,
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what I said, but um, so yeah, like I was very like I always made sure like my tackles were clean, and like I never had like a bad tackle really. Like I've had maybe like there's been a few where like the ref just didn't like that I sent him a couple miles to the right, but because he's just small, but because I was heavier then too. Like I was like 200
Yeah.
pounds. Um,
Oh shit. Okay.
center
How tall?
back,
How
and
tall were you?
I'm like 5'9", so I was a little chubby. But my sprints are good. Like I
Let's
could I
go.
my like I was so back to high school. I guess we did this. We had like a Saturday practice because every now and then we had those, and it was fitness. It was a
Mm.
fitness practice, and at the end of it, we did these sprints, like 100-yard dashes, and they like certain players picked their teams, and so I went up against like our star striker and like some of the wingers, and I beat everybody.
Let's
And so
go.
I was like, come on, and I'm still on the bench. Like, come on, like, what
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
doing?
That's funny, dude. My
But
my first my first yellow card was It was a dive, bro. I didn't even dive. He thought I dove. He was in the box. I remember I did like a little check and then let the ball go through my legs and I just turned with him. And the motherfucker like hit checks me. And I remember the ref running over and gave me a card. And I was like in ninth grade and I literally wanted to cry. I had never been carded in my life. And I
Yeah,
literally got
exactly.
carded for something I didn't even do. And I was just like,
That
man,
that's why I was pissed when I got carded because like it wasn't anything bad at all. Like it wasn't even
yeah,
foul. Like it's just the ref was just it was like a terrible ref. No offense. I used to
yeah,
ref, so I've had bad games, but I never did center ref because I was like I can't do that. I always
yeah.
did the sideline ref. I was like that's easy enough. Like I can figure out when they're offsides. Like I'll do
True.
that.
Did you travel a lot for soccer?
Um, yeah, not like anywhere crazy. So like there was another club local-ish to me that went to like Arizona and this place and that place. We always stayed on like the East Coast. Um,
Gotcha.
so my first year in travel, yeah, my first year in travel. No. Like my first year on this new club that I joined, it was called Delaware Rush at the time. Um, I There was the first year you could actually play and possibly like win the state cup. Like that's when you could play in the state cup. I forget what year it was. Maybe like U11. Um, and we won it that year, and we went to Maine, or not Maine. We went to like Rhode Island. So that was like the coolest travel. Um, Probably the furthest we went to. Maybe West Virginia is kind of the same distance, but West
Yeah,
Virginia
West Virginia's pretty
tournaments,
far-ish. Yeah.
yeah, West Virginia tournaments kind of sucked because it was just like there was nothing to do besides play soccer. Um,
Oh, I
at
see. I
least
see.
where the tournament was, like it was like you drove through the woods and there was just like this big field and there's this whole bunch of soccer fields. But yeah,
Cool.
I mean the coolest place I played was in Queens, New York, on the side of the road, like in
Oh,
the city.
fuck yeah. Let's
Yeah, it was
go.
really cool. But when we got there, like the team was terrible. We won like 5-0. But the like there was no nets there. Like it was like on a turf field and there was no nets. And they came with like these really shitty like nets that they popped up and made.
What the fuck?
It was like a very like shitty game. Like just like it was a cool area though. But like
Yeah.
yeah.
So is Minnesota probably the furthest place you've gone, or have you done some traveling besides that? Because you went there for
I
VCon.
don't remember how long the flight was to Minnesota, but I've been to Kansas City before. Flew into Missouri, so I think those might have been like a similar flight distance. I always go to Florida, but that's like an hour and 40-minute flight, 2-hour
True.
flight. So
True.
those are like the two, like either Missouri or Minnesota.
Yeah.
They're pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
close, I think, to each other. Maybe I don't know.
Do you have any like goals for the rest of 2022 that you're trying to nail, or is it just more just like doing more of the same right now?
I don't have any. That's one thing I probably should start doing is like setting goals. But I don't know. I never really have goals. I always just kind of just go with the flow and if like something's like what I want to do this, then it's my goal. But I
Yeah.
don't have anything right now that I'm like I want to accomplish that. I think maybe a goal is just to travel as much as I can. Like
Yeah.
I mean I've always wanted to do that. So whether that's for now or for, like in my future, that's a goal, I guess. Just to
True.
travel, just to learn new cultures. And yeah. So maybe not necessarily a 2022 goal, but I don't really
True.
think I have one.
Do you have you been like that style of like going with the flow mainly for like since like middle school, high school, like those years too?
Yeah, I've never really had goals. Like I said, so I've always kind of just went with it. Which isn't like the best thing to do. Like I wouldn't recommend it, but I think it'd be better if I had like a always had something in mind because like when I used to stream on Twitch, like I always had a goal of like I want to get to this many viewers or this,
Oh, I
and
see.
but when you're streaming on that, like you have to do more than just stream. And I just didn't like that aspect. I was like, I don't want to, I don't want to do all this. So yeah, like if there's ever like when I was younger too, like if there's anything that like for example, like I wanted to make um like I wanted to start on varsity my junior year because I was a captain my sophomore year on JV. I was like, okay, like I could probably start on varsity this next year. It was like the bench the whole time. So it was a goal to start, didn't start, and then it just you couldn't start after that. Um, so whenever like something comes to me, I'm like, you know what, I want to do that. Then I have like so I go with the flow. If a goal comes to me,
Yeah.
then I run with it. But I never really think about like I want this to be a goal. If that makes sense.
Like a very specific like you like when okay, so like if you were like in middle school, you didn't have like a dream aspiration to be a whatever insert career here?
I did. Like, there was always like a few things that came to mind. I think the main one was probably like a soccer player.
Yeah,
Like, I
me
always had
too.
in the back of my mind, like, it's, probably won't happen, but it'd be cool.
Yeah,
Like, I just love playing soccer. I probably still would play, but you know, a lot of like the people who were on the soccer team when I was in high school are just like a bunch of douchebags. No offense to them, but like,
yeah,
a lot of them I've talked to recently, and they're completely different. It's just like high school. That's what high school is.
sure.
And they're a bunch of good people now. I mean, they were good people then, but they just, um, so yeah, I wanted to be a soccer player. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
that's how it
that's
was, dude, in like high school. I remember I took a couple classes, or not a couple classes, a couple tests where they were like, "Hey, like you need to think about your career," and I was just like, "I know, but like I don't know what I want to do. Like I want to be a
yep,
soccer player, but I don't really. I just kind of like didn't want to think about it, so I just didn't think about it. Every time I took those tests, it was like, okay, what are you good at? What potential careers could you be? It was always like, okay, you're good at like talking to people and like customer service, so like you could be like a good clerk. You could be a good like clerk. I remember that was
yeah.
like always the one that came up, and I was just like, fuck me, dude. Like, what the fuck? Are
I
you
don't want to
kidding
be a
me?
clerk.
Well, it just sucked. I was like, I don't know. I just remember in high school not feeling like the system was like set up for me. So I think
Yeah,
Gary Vee probably talks to like speaks to so many people because of that. Because he's like, not everyone fits in like this specific bubble of like if you want to be a doctor, then yeah, you're set because like the way is there for you. You know exactly
yep,
what you have to do to become a doctor. But if you have no idea what that career is for, you kind of just have to go with the flow and figure stuff out and like chase random shit experiences, see what happens, like just random. I mean, the Discord mod position kind of just opened for you, like you
yeah,
kind of just like stepped
yeah.
into that position. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it wasn't like a like when I became like the mod position just like came to me because well, so I'd never checked Instagram stories at the time, but I was like, I'm just gonna like I was bored, so I went on Instagram stories and Gary, like I don't know how long I followed him for, but I never like binge watched him, but I always followed him, and like if I saw a post, like I'd watch it.
Yeah,
But I saw he posted like a Discord link. I was like, oh cool. Discord. I like Discord. So I
yeah.
joined it. And then like 2 days later, I was trying to like show my Twitch and like the intros channel like every couple hours. Like I was like, I stream this, and then um, I saw in their general chat like some morning that they were looking for mods, and so I messaged Zane.
Yep.
He was the guy at the time, and like he messaged me back right away. He was like, "Hey, can you meet at 11 a.m.?" I was like, "Fuck 11? Okay, sure." Yeah, because it was like 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. I was like, "Yeah, I'll meet." Like, sure, like
Yep.
cool. And then I became a mod right there. Like no time
Ah, dude,
after.
that like almost makes me mad because like I just did. I think now, okay, now all that information's out there. Like obviously, yeah, go put yourself out there. But in the beginning, like back in that time period,
So easy.
well, it was so easy, but like I didn't know it was that easy. Like I didn't know that I could just message someone and become a mod. It just wasn't in my scope of thought process. I was just trying to like grind for whitelist or something. Like I don't even know what I
Yeah.
was doing in Discourse back then. Like I can't remember.
Yeah, so I think they hired people who either like or they added like mods to the team who either like were fans of Gary that were willing to help, or people who knew Discord. So like I knew Discord for years,
Yep.
so that was like the way I got in. But he kind of they just needed people to help.
That's
Nowadays,
cool.
you don't want to just pick random people,
Sure.
because now it's like a big issue if you do that,
Yeah.
or it can be. It's not always, but so yeah, it's definitely like a lot easier. Now
Hell
it's
yeah.
like now
Well,
it's
okay,
like
so if you like what are people looking for? Like for example, like a Discord mod is a pretty strong entry position to like aim for, I guess, for people who want to just get started in
yep.
Web3. What would you say you guys look for, or what's something that they can do to set themselves up the best way to become a mod for for a project?
It's hard for a lot of like for most NFT projects. It's like pretty hard if you don't have experience modding. Um, but something that VFriends does is like most of our mods. I think 99% of our mods have never been a mod on Discord before, and we teach them everything.
Gotcha.
So they're all like amazing community members, and they applied when we had a mod application, and we're like, okay, they're always active and helping people. Let's make them a mod. Let's teach them. So that's what VFriends does. But most projects, I think some other projects might do that as well. But like newer project wise, I think the best thing you can do if you want to become one is one, like learn Discord a little bit. You can go to like discord.com/moderation, and it teaches you like all about Discord permissions and everything is great. So you can just like give that a read so you have like a general understanding, and then just like try to join their Discord early on and just be helpful, like answer questions that you can answer. You know, if they have an FAQ channel, nobody's reading it and they're asking the same question,
Yeah.
like just sit in there for an hour and just help answer the questions and just like be as helpful and positive as possible, because people like projects love that, even if you're not a moderator. Like,
Yeah. So like embody the moderator position and see if they see you, kind of thing.
But don't tell someone, like, don't moderate though, if that makes sense. Like as in, like, if someone's like spamming, like, don't say like, hey, stop spamming, because like, I mean, you can, but something that I've noticed is like it's obvious to notice if someone wants to become a mod or not. Like, you can tell if someone's being genuine or they're not.
Sure.
And that's one of those things that I watched, like, this person's like trying to moderate, which is cool, but it seems like their intention of being nice and doing that is just to become a mod.
I see.
Which isn't like an often thing. Like, most people don't do that, but it's just something to keep in mind. Like, you don't want to, like, if you want to become a mod, you know, you can make it known, but
Sure.
don't do things for the reason of becoming a mod. Do it because you want to help people.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point right there. I would say that's a pretty strong bit of advice there as well. I think, I mean, I've asked that question before to people, especially like founders and stuff, but to have it come from the actual Discord manager or potentially director of Discord, that was pretty good right there. Okay, so look, towards the end here, I like to do a little speed round, rapid fire Q&A. You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do this shit.
It's not like I'd say no anyways. So.
It's fun. I think it's fun. I think these are cool to do.
I agree. I'm sure. Yeah.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite car?
Favorite car? I don't know what kind of. I just like Mustangs. Old Mustangs are nice.
Old Mustangs?
Yeah, like a '67 Mustang.
Hey, okay, that's actually that was probably my favorite car for a long.
That's like
long
the only
time.
year I know.
Me too, bro. Literally '67 Mustang. That's my go-to answer for the longest time.
I know 2021, 2022.
All right, favorite alcohol if you got one.
I do not have one.
Wait. Okay, yeah. Do you have any tattoos?
No tattoos.
No tattoos, really?
No tattoos.
Just the super solid mustache.
Just a mustache that's. The reason why I have it is because my beard won't grow here, so I was like, I'll just try to make the mustache look cool.
True.
Keep this here, but yeah.
All right, where would you want to retire physically, like location?
I think Florida.
Florida? Really? Yeah. Like Miami, like in the party town, Florida, or just like the weather?
Not in party town, just like weather-wise, and like I say I like fishing, but I won't do it in Delaware. Like, I'll do it when I'm like on vacation and stuff, because like it's more fun to do it. I don't know.
Sure.
That's when I do it the most. So maybe I'm not a true lover of fishing. But, so like somewhere close to the water. Yeah. Florida.
All right. True. All right. Do you have any crazy, wild, near-death experiences that you can't explain how you're alive?
I don't have like a real crazy one, but I have like an interesting one. It was in a state cup game. We ended up losing, but wait. No, we won that game. We lost the final after that. It was a semifinal, I think.
Gotcha.
And it was somewhere, wherever it was on a Saturday. And later that night, me and my friend who were on the team, we had our 8th grade formal. Like later that night. The game like ended at like 6. The formal was at like 7 or 8 or something. So it was a very, very close time. It was raining. Yeah. And towards the end of the game, I just went in for a slide tackle, and the guy fell when I hit him, and he like kneed me in the head, and I like blacked out for like a second. Like, I didn't remember what happened. I still don't remember what happened. I just remember waking up and I'm crying, and my coach is there, and I was like, I have no idea what happened.
Holy
shit!
Like,
that was like the only time I've ever like blacked out.
Did you get a concussion?
Crazy. No, I never. I mean, I never went to the doctor to check.
She probably, she probably did.
I could have, but I that was one thing I never did. I never really went to the doctor. So, that was probably if that's near. It's not near death, but it's like.
Bro, that's honestly that's the reason I don't do stuff like you've seen those videos where you like trip your friend, or you have that thing where the guy stands behind them and like does this, and then the guy trips over them.
Yeah.
For some reason, I've seen like someone crack their head before, like on the ground and die. So I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but like doing little things like that like terrify me, because people can die like just like the stupidest little mistake, and you're like, oh,
You don't want to be one of those people with the stupid deaths either.
Could you
So
imagine? Yeah, could you imagine like on your gravestone, like he tripped over his friend as a joke for a TikTok, and he's then died? Be like, oh, rip, dude. Okay,
that
all
would
right. Anyways, we'll go something less morbid. First relationship.
I fourth grade. It wasn't really
Get
like
the
a
fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? All right,
yeah.
hit us with the alpha. How'd you get a girlfriend in fourth grade, bro?
I don't even know. Like
Or boyfriend?
we were just
Girlfriend or boyfriend?
it's a girlfriend. I don't know. We were just friends. We liked each other. Our parents brought us out to eat a couple times, and then she broke up with me.
Oh shit.
I went to her beach house before it. That was
Let's
cool.
go.
Went
Let's
to her
go.
beach house in Wildwood. And yeah.
Damn, bro. Nick's been bagging the chick since fourth grade. That's fucking
No,
nuts.
that was the only time. That was the only time. I literally haven't had one since.
Oh no, damn.
I used all my juice early.
Facts. Look, when they find out you're Discord manager, they'll change their minds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Guilty pleasures. Do you have any?
I love eating Hershey Kisses. Like I have a bag behind me, and I'll just like let them melt in
just
my
very
mouth.
very specifically Hershey's Kisses.
Yeah, different
Interesting.
flavored ones always. Like
Okay.
I'll literally just like when I'm playing games or anything, if I'm just sitting at my computer watching YouTube, working, like
Popping
I'll
Hershey's
just
Kisses.
like I'll take out like 7. I'm like I gotta control myself. I'll take out like 7, and I just pop one in, let it melt in my mouth. It's like the best thing ever.
That's funny as fuck. That's actually a good tip to have a snack like that. My grandpa does that
It's
with
not good.
peanuts.
It's
Well,
not
maybe
good
it's not
because-
good, but it
because
sounds nice.
It's right there. Right. You can't see it. It's right below that white box. It's right below.
I see. Gotcha.
So yeah, it's bad.
That's funny. All right, okay. Guilty pleasure for a movie. Like, what movie do you watch that's kind of embarrassing that you love? Like, mine's Twilight. I fucking love Twilight series,
I don't
and
think it's
it makes.
embarrassing.
All right, hit
But
me.
oh, well, that's a good. That's my funny enough. Before I answer it, my cousin who has Down syndrome, he loves that movie. Like I was at his
It's
house.
so good, dude. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. So I was at his house, and so he has to go to summer school, and this was last week when I was at the convention. So I was staying at their house because they live really close.
Cool.
And he's up till like we watched one of the Twilight movies, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to go to bed. And he's on the couch till 2 a.m. I wake up at 2 a.m. and he's still sitting there.
Let's go.
He's like sitting in like this like weird position and just loving it. I fucking loved it. But I was like, dude, like maybe like lower it a little bit. Like I'm trying to sleep.
That's
It's
funny
2
as
a.m.
fuck, dude. I think I just like.
fell asleep like 10.
Damn. Yeah, Twilight. I don't know what I think it's just the fantastical idea of the entire thing. Like I've always loved
Cool.
shows and movies that have nothing to do with or so actually like in this for people who haven't seen it, like essentially there's a bunch of vampires and stuff. Like it's a big love story. So anyways, but like the idea of saying fuck it to school and like going and living your life without needing a job or like going to school, like the idea of that of living a life that has nothing to do with the system, that was probably like one of my biggest motivators to become a YouTuber. Because I was like, being a YouTuber is like breaking the matrix because you get to do stuff and film it, and then you're rewarded for it. I'm like, that sounds lit, and so I've always just chased things like that. So,
Yeah.
shout out Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight is good. My guilty pleasure movie. I don't think it's embarrassing. I love Moana.
Really?
It's a banger.
So I
Like,
need to see that movie. I haven't seen
yeah,
it. It's one of the only
they got
Disney movies
great
I haven't seen yet.
songs. Like I always jam with them. It's a great movie.
True.
It's a great
True.
movie.
All right. Last 2 questions. Well, I assume Gary. Well, I don't know. Like maybe Gary follows you on Twitter. Who are the idols that follow you on Twitter, if any, that you're just like super stoked about?
I don't think I really have any. I don't think I have idols. Like I guess
Okay.
that's weird. Like I mean maybe I do, but none of them follow me. But I guess I'll say Gary V. I'll say the same thing.
Okay.
Say Gary V because Gary V's cool. He's a cool person to have me follow.
True.
To follow me. Actually, no. Sammy Watkins follows me. He was a Chief.
He was
a
what?
Chief, he was a Chiefs player. Sammy Watkins.
Oh, let's go. Fuck yeah. He
That was a
follows
cool
you?
one. Yeah. Well, so okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, Andrew Wiley as well. He's
Pulls up like 9 names. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
So them two, those are cool. They were Andrew Wiley's still a Chiefs player. Sammy Watkins was an ex-Chiefs player. They both follow me.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Sammy
Fuck
Watkins followed me and then messaged me, like about NFTs. Like he asked
No
me.
way.
Like, yeah, like I commented on one of his posts. He sent him about NFTs. I was like, you gotta be careful with this. Blah blah blah. Let me know if you need help. And he follows me and DMs me. So
Nice, dude.
was
That's
cool.
fucking legend right there.
Not much came out of it, but it was so cool. That was a cool moment because I liked
man.
when he was with the Chiefs.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool shit. Like I remember Cody, another YouTuber, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I made this video about Shaq's NFT project. He goes, Shaq messaged me. He was just like, thanks for the video.
So
and he was
cool.
just like, whoa, like that. It really is pretty wild. The
Yeah.
Web3 world. Like when I was at NFT NYC, I was in a meeting or I was in a little like VIP party thing. And I was just like the three people that I met there were just so far out of my league that I was like, what am I doing in this house in this room right now? Like, why I should not be here? And it's like the Web3 world. It kind of levels everybody out a little bit.
Yeah,
It's cool
it's a
shit.
cool feeling for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Actually, I have another question. So the
Go
last two
for it.
questions here. Favorite food chain
Food chain.
or most underrated food chain, and then I'm going to hit you with the favorite restaurants.
Food chain. There's this burger place called Steak and Shake.
Okay.
That's
Steak and
like
Shake. I've heard of it.
yeah, Steak and Shake. That I love that place.
Okay.
I
All
didn't
right. Now
want to
you.
say like Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A, of course, is like great, but
Yeah.
Steak and Shake
Okay.
better than
Favorite
In-N-Out.
favorite restaurant now. Doesn't have to be a chain.
Favorite restaurant is probably it's a Delaware pizzeria called Grotto's Pizza. The best.
Is
Pizza.
Delaware pizza different? So I know that like New York has their pizza, Jersey people swear by their pizza. Is that a thing in Delaware?
It's like New York style, but like it's a lot of the pizzerias in Delaware are like New Jersey based. Like a lot of them are from Jersey or New York, like the owners. So it has like the similar like I think like anywhere kind of in the area of New Jersey, New York, like has like similar pizza when it comes to that. But nothing beats like a nice fresh pizza in New York. So.
True. Okay. All right. Final question. Do you got any deep thoughts that come up in your head a lot? Deep philosophical thoughts that you think about on a walk, or do you try and stay away from that kind of chit chatter in your head?
Nothing like wild, like because I do daily walks in the mornings.
That's probably
so
smart.
a lot of times I have like a Joe Rogan podcast on or just music. Yeah, I don't know if I have any specific like philosophical thoughts. Like when I was younger, I'd always think about like I'd always try to like figure out like what do I do when I die? Like that was something like I always did, and like I always thought about like, and I would always think about like how would my family feel or like how would my friends feel, and because like I guess this is a little deep, but like I thought about it once when I like when I didn't feel my friends were really like friends, I was like I feel like if I died, like they wouldn't care. Like I felt that, and like that was the kind of shit I thought about. I try not to think about that stuff because it's like a little morbid and weird. Sure. But so yeah, that was like something I guess I used to think about. I don't think I have any. If I think of anything, I'll DM you. But I don't think I did, like if it's in the moment, like I'll forget it. My short term memory is like horrendous. Like if you said your favorite color earlier, I'd probably forget it.
Here's the thing. I knew you were gonna say blue. For some reason, I think this is a dude thing, and I don't want I don't need like gender people come at me, but like I swear to God, dudes just like blue. But I don't know what it is. Color. Blue's just the answer. I got blue fucking behind me. I got like a blue color behind me. Like blue's just what happens for dudes. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so my brother was a red guy, so it was red and blue. So I was.
Whoa. Okay.
So he was red. I was blue because I
very
have a
interesting.
Twin brother, so.
Gotcha. Cool. Is he in? You said your brother is in NFTs, right? A little bit.
No, not really. He I tried to get him into it, but he didn't really like care too much. And
damn, bro, he missed out. He missed out.
Now you're early. Yeah.
Damn, dude, he could have had a Bored Ape.
He seriously could have. Because I told him when I bought it, I was like, this was like $1,800. Like, it could be good. And
I remember because during crypto, I was watching his YouTube channel at the time. He's a big crypto YouTuber, and he was the first guy who kind of opened my eyes up to the apes. And I heard about them, but it wasn't even to the point where I even knew what they were. It was just like I heard him say Bored Apes a couple times, and I didn't even bother to look. I didn't even Google it. It just went over my head because I was like, oh, crypto. I'll just pay attention to ETH and stuff. I didn't really think about it at all. And so I missed out on the Bored Apes as well. It hurt me. It hurts me to my soul. Janik says, I liked red as a kid until I decided I didn't want to have to pick a favorite color when people asked. Well, listen, Janik, if you ever come on my podcast, you are 1,000% getting asked what your favorite color is. It's important. All right. It's important.
It's crazy how many people ask what your favorite color is. Like,
well, honestly, it's one of those things that it comes up in a lot of when you're like dating in middle school and you do 21 questions with your girlfriend or guy friend and you ask what your favorite color is. So
or someone that you wanted to date.
or like someone
exactly. Yeah, they would send you like screenshot of like someone's notes that's been screenshotted a million times and it's very blurry.
Exactly. Yeah. Fire. Okay, all right. Final thing just to leave us with Mr. Nick Corso. Well, one, thank you for being here. It's been a great fucking time hanging with you. Yeah. Okay. So do you have any do you want to shout out anybody? Something like that, a little final wish to the world.
Shout out to Andy Kranak. president of VeeFriends in May, for taking the chance on me. And shout out to everybody I've interacted with in the NFT space, whether it's VeeFriends or not. And shout out to my family who still doesn't understand VeeFriends.
Let's fucking go. All right, guys. Shout out to everyone who's in here, especially if you are in here. I know a couple of people have been here since the very beginning, so we appreciate you. Make sure you smash like in this video, subscribe to the channel. I have Nick's stuff, and I believe I also have VeeFriends link down below in the description. So if you want to check him out, if there's something he said that you like, go ahead and check them out. It's a good time, especially on his Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much fucking it. Unless there's something else you want to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. We can definitely revisit though, for sure.
Yeah, man, 100%. Well, maybe we'll bring you back on the podcast. It's been a great time, dude. Again, I appreciate your time. And guys, welcome. Not welcome. Fuck. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're live watching this video. Bye.
Peace out.
3, 2, 1, and